By fans of high-quality entertainment. Who doesn't remember living in the 80s? Unless you weren't born yet. Anyway, being serious now, I have gathered up 15 albums from the 80s that I used to own. I don't have any of them in my CD collection at the moment. Some I would like to get at some point, and others not at all. And so what I'm going to do is I have, like I said, 15 albums that I used to own in the 80s, and I'm going to rank them from number 15 to number 1. And, you know, there's lots of other albums too, but I just chose 15. So here we go. The albums include The Police, and that was from 1983. There is actually one R.E.M's Automatic for the People. I thought it was from the 80s, but it was from I think the early 90s. What do I know? All right. Yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp, The Lonesome Jubilee, which is from 1987. Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel of Love from 1987. Tunnel of Love. Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual, 1983. So yeah, the year that these were released is the year I bought all of these albums. R.E.M. Document is from the 80s. I bought that. 1987. The Cure, Disintegration, 1989. Almost in the 90s. Pretenders 2 is, I didn't put the date from that. I think 1981 is the date for that. Michael Jackson, Bad, 1987. ZZ Top, Eliminator, 1983. U2, The Unforgettable Fire, 1984. Metallica, Master of Puppets, 1986. In Excess Kick, 1987. Prince, Around the World. I always forget the name of to say it properly. Around the World in a Day. Got it. 1985. Paul Simon, Hearts and Bones, 1983. The Smiths, The Queen is Dead, 1986. And that's it. So I'm going to rank them from number 15 to number 1. And I would love your thoughts in the comment section below of these albums. Which are your favorites or which ones aren't your favorites? And what would be your number 1 out of these 15? So here we go. And I'll, maybe a little story about each album or other albums I bought by these artists. Okay, Pretenders 2. I have Pretenders, the debut. I've had that for a few years. I have the deluxe version. But when Pretenders 2 came out in 1981, it was a huge disappointment for me. And I only played it, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I gave up on it. Maybe I need to, re-listen to it now, but just at the time, couldn't connect with it at all. And it almost had this kind of druggy feeling to it. And you know what happened, of course. The next couple of years, two of the members passed away from drugs. But I just remember at the time sensing like, oh, this is like a druggy kind of album, the production or whatever. But definitely, that debut album is one of the best debut albums ever. And like I said, I might need to check out Pretenders 2 again, and maybe I'll like it or love it. Number 14. Yeah, Metallica, Master of Puppets. I've bought probably 5 or 6 Metallica albums in my life, and I always give up on them. I think they're good, but I don't know. Metallica's just not for me, but I do respect them as a band, and some of you might remember Columbia Records and Tapes. That's when I got that along with 11 other albums. The days of vinyl. Number 13. Yeah, The Police, Synchronicity. I know that my buddy Glenn Kellaway is a huge fan of The Police. I liked the album. Every Breath You Take got really tiring quickly. And, it's always played on the radio. But just to listen to it, I got bored with it pretty quickly. I love the title song, Synchronicity. And other than that, like it was good. I enjoyed it, but just not one of my favorite bands overall. Number 12. That's right, I like Cyndi Lauper more than The Police. Don't tell Glenn. Yeah, that was a fun album back in the day. And then I bought, I think, her second and third album too. And yeah, it's a good album. Cyndi Lauper, very talented artist. Number 11. INXS, Kick. Yeah, I bought quite a few INXS albums. Probably at least 5. And they were an excellent band. So they are at number 11. Number 10. The Smiths, The Queen is Dead. I think that's the only studio album I bought by them. And then I had the double, I forget the name of it, with the singles and everything. It's a double vinyl record. Yeah, I love most of The Queen is Dead, especially the title track and Panic. Yeah, trying to remember the songs, but very good album. I'm not a fan of Morrissey, though. Number 9. The Cure, yeah, Disintegration. I bought, once again, probably 5 or 6 of their albums. Really good band. Not one of my favorites, but, I enjoyed them in the 80s, especially. And probably my favorite Cure song is Just Like Heaven. Love that song. Number 8. Prince, Around the World in a Day. I bought Purple Rain, Sign of the Times, and maybe 1 or 2 other albums. I think, thinking back, I think this was my favorite. I liked it more than Purple Rain. So it's probably my favorite Prince album I ever heard. I wouldn't mind having it in my CD collection again. Number 7. Yeah, R.E.M. Document. My favorite is Automatic for the People, but that's from the 90s. But yeah, I love Document. I think, I bought Monster, which I think is underrated, although I don't have it in my collection. And I would love to get Document again and Automatic for the People and Monster. Very good band, R.E.M. Number 6. Michael Jackson Bad, which I think, I bought Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, and I think Bad was the best of the 3 albums of his I bought. Let me know if you agree or not. The way You Make Me Feel is probably my favorite from that album, but lots of great songs on it. Number 5. Yeah, very underrated album. I need to get that for my collection. Hearts and Bones. I do have Graceland, and Glenn got me this double CD of all of his hits and everything, which is excellent. And I've got his debut album. So, I bought some, and his latest album too, 7 songs. But I just feel that Hearts and Bones, maybe it's not as good as Graceland, but between the 2 albums, I think I myself enjoyed Hearts and Bones even more than Graceland. Although there's one song on the album, Cars Are Cars, which is one of his worst songs, in my opinion. All right, number 4. Yeah, I admit it. I was a huge John Cougar Mellencamp fan for, all of, most of the 80s and maybe just the start of the 90s. And then I gave up on him. I don't really care for him as a person, but that is, my favorite of the John Cougar or the John Mellencamp albums that I bought. Number 3. ZZ Top, Eliminator. Probably, I love their early albums, of course. And I guess maybe some of their early fans were turned off with us, with the drum machine and everything, but I love this album. It's great. I lost interest in them after, Recycled, because it sounded like they were just recycling, the same sound with each I can't even speak today, with each album. But Eliminator is a solid album from start to finish, and I need it again in my collection. Number 2. Yeah, I've always wanted this again in my collection. It's my favorite Bruce Springsteen album. I bought Born to Run, Nebraska, The River, all of those. They were good, but Born in the USA. But I don't have any Bruce Springsteen. That's the only Bruce Springsteen I would love to have back in my collection. And I will at some point. So number 1 is U2. That was the very first album I bought by them in 1984. And then, of course, I went back and bought Boy and War and October. And like I've said many times, they were, besides the Beatles, they were my favorite, even probably more than Sparks. They were my favorite band in the 80s and the 90s. And they just lost me with, I guess Octong Baby is my favorite. And The Unforgettable Fire is my second favorite U2 album. But they kind of lost me after like pop. And although uh, a couple of their albums after pop were very good, and I saw them in concert, and they were excellent. But yeah, that's one I definitely would, at some point like to have back in my collection. The Unforgettable Fire, #1. So that's it. Please remember to like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe. I also wanted to say that I've got 2 YouTube channels, and it's been kind of a struggle for views. I think for a lot of people on YouTube, I think everybody's kind of struggling, especially me with my other channel, my original Canadian Studmuffin. My last 2 videos haven't even reached 300 views. So it's kind of, depressing. So if you can subscribe to Canadian Studmuffin and watch the videos there and leave comments, I'd appreciate it. I think at the moment I'm just doing one video like today on this channel, and then tomorrow on my Canadian Studmuffin channel I'll post a video. So every other day for both channels, and see how that goes. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.